Halloween episode. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Welcome to Modern Retro.
It's a me, Mario.
Waluigi. Oh, yes. So, if you couldn't tell, this is Modern Retro, and it's the day before Halloween. So, blah. I'm joined once again by Aaron and not the Roy, because... yeah, I don't know. What was he? Was he busy with? Just, like, sleeping at work again or something?
Just working. But anyway, boo!
Oh. What are you gonna do Halloween? It's a Tuesday.
I'm flying to Thailand.
Oh, fuck, I keep forgetting about that shit. I'm gonna be on a plane eating my Snickers bars.
Yep.
Will you be landed by then or no?
I don't know. We're leaving the 30th, and then it's 24
Oh shit,
hours.
you're leaving the day this is coming out.
Oh my god!
Oh.
That's something to listen to. Yeah, so we're leaving the 30th, and then 24-hour flight, China, Thailand. It's gonna be crazy.
Wait. No, it can't. You gotta have a layover. You can't just go straight 24 hours.
It's like 17 to China, and then however many left from China to Thailand.
So you're going from Rhode Island all the way to China, direct. You're not like stopping in California to refuel or get on a different plane?
Not that I know of.
You don't know your itinerary? You don't know if you have a direct flight or a layover?
I'm pretty sure it's direct.
Huh.
My layover is in China.
That's fucking... Ooh. It was like 12 hours from here to Hawaii. And so obviously half the trip. And I was like... And I had like 2 layovers on the way there. Or 3. There was some sort of fuck up with the plane tickets and whatnot. But either way, like... I was like stir crazy by like hour... like 10. It's like...
Well, I have to like save up. So I have a bunch of voodoo movies and TV shows I can watch. But a lot of the shit's coming out on Netflix. So I'm going to have I'm going to binge watch all of Stranger Things Season 2 on the plane.
Wait, how you don't have Netflix on the plane? You like the Wi-Fi doesn't work up there.
No, but the Netflix has you can save it to your shit now.
Ah, yes, the magic of the future.
Yes, we live in the future.
But you're a big dude.
Trump's America.
Don't remind us. Don't bring up Trump's America.
No. Although I fell in a dark hole of the internet with the fires in California.
Yeah, you sent some video that I didn't watch because I read like something about flat earthers in it, and I went, nope, I don't even validate those fucking people.
So apparently, I think you wanted to talk about conspiracies at some point in this podcast. I haven't really.
Well, because you come up with the most ridiculous, amusing conspiracies that are just like stupid.
Well, I haven't been following that world really at all, but
because reality is just bad enough.
Seriously, oh my god, our heat didn't work yesterday, and I was like, if this fucking furnace is broken, I'm just burning this goddamn house down. Fuck this shit. So this thing popped up on my Facebook feed, and it was all about the what they're telling us about the fires in California is not what they say it is, and they show like previous forest fires in California and how it engulfs the house, but there's still like debris standing. There's black soot everywhere, that type of shit. There's the tires on cars are still left intact, but the car will be destroyed. That kind of shit.
Okay.
Because tires are galvanized or whatever. Or they go through rigorous fucking heat testing and shit, so they don't melt.
Well, you get hot enough, they fucking will.
So then they show neighborhood pictures from California from these fires or whatever, and there's no black soot. It's like an entire community. They show like the community before and they show the community after, and it's like the houses have just been like vaporized, but like there's still somewhat of trees standing and shit like that. And they're like, this isn't right. Like, there's no black soot. Where is all the fucking debris? Like, what's going on? Like, the stones and all the shit that the house was made out of. Yeah, it burns, but it doesn't just fucking evaporate into thin air. And then they show playgrounds where the plastic slides are still intact in these neighborhoods, or like the recycling bins are still blue and fresh, and they're like, it's fucking lasers and shit from God. Like, the government is testing laser weapons that are evaporating and completely eviscerating these neighborhoods, but the playgrounds and the recycling bins and shit that don't have any black soot on them, they're just perfectly fine because they're microwavable plastic, so they just don't do anything.
Activate GoldenEye.
Oh my God. So, I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
Not saying it's aliens, but it's Trump.
It's Trump's America.
So what does that have to do with the flat Earth? Like, are they just like the same people that believe that, like the same type of group, or?
No, I was told to like this flat Earth Facebook page because it's the best goddamn thing I've ever read. It's the most fucking. They post the greatest shit. That's amazing. Like, if you ever just want to laugh for the day, you subscribe to these flat Earth Facebook, not only just for the laughs, but to know what the other stupid part of the world is thinking, so you know kind of what's going on in this world. And I mean, it's worrisome to say the least.
Yeah, pretty worrisome that in the 21st century, there are people that strongly, firmly believe that the Earth is flat, even though it's been like disproven for 600 years.
Well, their whole thing is the reason why you see, like, when they send cameras up into the stratosphere and shit like that, the reason why the Earth has a curvature is because of the lens. The lens is causing that curvature, when really it's flat. And then they'll show like,
if you just move the camera, you can see the giant. You can see the 4 elephants holding the Earth up on top of the giant sea turtle.
So it's just like a bunch of people posting pictures from the airplane windows, going like, "No curve," like fucking idiots. But they'll post like photography from the satellites. You know those scenes that you see where it shows the Earth in the background, kind of rotating with the clouds and shit. But you'll still see the satellite or the metal fucking structure, and they're like, "Oh, NASA accidentally films a bumblebee in their fucking shit," and you'll see like a little speck like go around, like. So
they're saying it's a bumblebee in space?
Yeah, or
How
that it's not really in space; it's in a fucking warehouse somewhere being filmed,
like the moon landing type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I highly recommend that you like these pages because they're just fantastic.
I have a few of those type of pages that I follow on Instagram because they are just absurdly, ridiculously, like amazingly funny. Yeah, it's like, dude, you don't believe this. How can you believe this? And most of the ones I follow are like political ones, like true patriots for the right wing Trump. It's just like, yeah, and yeah, some of the fucking conspiracy crap that they come up on there is just like, what?
What I want to do, and I can probably add this to the podcast TeePublic page, is I want to do a fucking Death Star and have it be like, it's flat.
The Empire is lying to you. The Death Star is flat.
Like, maybe have like the Death Star kind of like, a flat surface, and just have an X-wing trail just go like straight through and be like, huh? Something like that.
If the Death Star is truly round, how come the trench was straight?
Exactly.
We can't see the curvature of the trench.
I want to do that. It would be fantastic.
The Death Star is flat. How come the torpedoes got sucked into the exhaust vent? It's like, all right, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, so that'd be a good T-shirt, I think.
Yeah, I like that. That'd be good. Yeah. Oh man, wow, that was a loaded question. I asked what you were doing Halloween, and somehow we got onto the Death Star is flat.
Yeah, as for Halloween, no, I'm not doing nothing. Although, one thing I will say, so we've been kind of having like a movie marathon for throughout the month, every weekend or so, whenever we find time at night, we'll put on a movie that's horror related. So we watched not the Frighteners. What was it? The one that was The Sixth Sense, but it was not The Sixth Sense with Kevin Bacon.
The one, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
He like moves into a house and he gets hypnotized and he starts seeing ghosts and finds, spoiler, a dead chick in his basement.
Nope, don't know that one.
You do. I made you watch it at one point.
I don't remember that. Like,
anyway,
13. It sounds like 13 Ghosts, kind of, but Kevin Bacon was not in that one.
No, but anyway, we watched The Sixth Sense. Coda had never seen The Sixth Sense, so we put that on. The whole time she's like, Bruce, what the fuck's his name? Bruce Willis is old.
That movie was like 20 years ago.
Exactly. He's so bald throughout the whole movie. You're like, Coda, shut up, watch the movie. But I really wish we recorded her reaction to the ending of that movie, because when she finds out, like, spoilers, he's dead. She's like, that's awesome. It's kind of sad though. I don't know why I'm excited. When did he die? It was when he was shot, wasn't it? Like, it was the most exaggerated fucking shit I've ever seen. It was a riot.
Wow, make her watch Fight Club and record that reaction.
I know, right? Well, so the past month or two, I've been trying to get them to watch Evil Dead. I'm like, let's watch Evil Dead. Yeah, it's the
like
best.
From the beginning, like all of them.
Not the first Evil Dead, just the second one.
Okay.
Because the second one recaps everything anyway. If she wants to watch it, she can go back and watch the first one.
Do it on your own time.
So we watch it, and she's like, "This is the stupidest movie I've ever seen." Like, especially when the fucking moose is like, "Mah!" I was like, "That's the fun of this movie.
Right, it's done on purpose.
It's ridiculous. It's comedy horror." And by the end of this movie, she was like, I want to be him for Halloween. So I'm like, yes.
Yeah, mine's not old enough for that yet. It's like slowly working my way there. But like, I think once 10 o'clock, once 10 years old rolls around, it's like another two more years. Then I'm just gonna be like, you know what? You're ready for the gory shit.
Well, you could probably ease her in with Army of Darkness. That's played on the fucking WB our entire childhood.
Yeah,
until we were like, what is this movie?
Well, my the way I figure it is like, if I watched it at 8, it's good enough for you. It's like, it's like, I don't care that the TV MA and rated R and rated PG-13 change things, because when we were kids there was no PG-13. It was good for you any age, or it was rated R.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm more like, I know that like just I can't like throw on something like Alien or anything like that. Yeah, Alien and Predator and Terminator, but we'll make our way there. And it's kind of funny if you think about it, because like Star Wars, Guardians of the Galaxy, all these movies that she and other kids by that age have already watched are insanely violent. They have like a huge fucking body count, but just because they're not graphically violent, it's different, because she'll sit there and she'll love violent movies and violent shows and stuff like that, but they're not, like I said, they're not graphically violent, so it's almost like, I guess we are sort of desensitized to a certain extent, because it's like, whatever. But then, like, I was watching The Expanse, like, last month or the month before, after she had gone to bed, and then she came out of bed and came downstairs, and she does it like a fucking ninja. Like, usually I can hear, like, the creaks of the
just
stairs.
All of a sudden you're just like...
Yeah.
Where'd she come from?
Like, I usually can hear the creaks of the stairs because this is an old house, but she purposely like tiptoes. She doesn't get out of bed very often, but she'll purposely like tiptoe very, very quietly when she does. So like, she made her presence known just at this one scene where like these two dudes like are trying to suck one of the main characters like out of an airlock. And he's trapped in there, and he's like about to get sucked into space. And then all of a sudden, somebody saves them, shoots them from behind, but it's not like bang bang, oh, and they fall down to the ground. It was like bang bang, their chests burst open and they fall on the glass and the blood like spills all over the camera lens, and I just hear, oh god. And I said, oh, don't watch this. Like, so like,
look at all the blood.
no, like for her, it's like I said, like for violent movies, she's like, yeah, it's cool and everything like that, but when she actually sees the gore and blood and violence and stuff, she's like, I can't watch this. I can't watch this. I'm like, once you're 10, that will go away and you can watch anything.
I'll beat it out of you.
I don't know. I feel like by 10, I mean, or maybe even younger, but definitely by 10, I had seen Predator and Terminator. And those like, yeah, especially Terminator 1 when he, the special effects in that are dated. But like even still, like as a kid, when he's like taking the X-Acto blade to his eye and popping it out in the sink and like cleaning his shit and everything like that, like that's gross and graphic and everything. We laugh at it now, but even a kid of today, of a certain age, like my daughter at 8 years old, will probably find that like just insanely disturbing.
Yeah.
But I think by 10, she'll be okay. Maybe that's just like the imaginary goalpost in my mind. I'm glad her mother doesn't listen to this. Are you looking for something spooky to read this Halloween, but you just don't have the time? How about trying Audible? Right now, if you go to audibletrial.com/modern retro, you can get a free 30-day trial of Audible and a free book to go along with it. Right now, Audible, you can check out tons of Halloween reads such as Dracula, Frankenstein, The Shining, Salem's Lot, Interview with a Vampire, a personal favorite, and many, many more. Go to audibletrial.com/modern retro.
So what do you got today, Cuba, since Roy isn't here?
Oh, wow. I guess somebody has to say it, huh?
Yep. That someone's me. Fucking Roy.
Well, I figured because it's Halloween, or will be Halloween when this airs, let's talk about one of those great Halloween traditions. And I'm not talking about candy or egging houses. I'm talking about The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. Now, not the new ones, or honestly any of the ones in the last 15 years or more. I'm talking about the good ones. When they first started, I remember trick-or-treating, because they used to air on Halloween. Do you remember that? Like, I think now they still they air them Sundays, regular, like any other Simpsons episode. But when we were kids, these were truly special episodes. It didn't matter what day of the week Halloween landed on, these would air on Halloween night. And I think it was probably like 8 o'clock, I would imagine. I don't remember a specific time, but probably like 8 o'clock is when they originally aired them on Halloween night for the first several of them. So that maybe the first 5 years or so. And then they went to the Sunday routine, which I think took away the specialness of them, because I remember being a kid and doing my trick-or-treating and be like, I got to be back home to watch The Simpsons. Because, there was no DVR. You missed that episode, maybe you would see it that Sunday. You missed it that Sunday, you don't see that shit for a year. Yep. There was no YouTube, there was no pausing the TV, there's absolutely no way of getting this episode other than watching it the day it premiered or the one time they reran it. So it was truly like a part of Halloween. And they were great. They were like the first 4 or 5 years of this Halloween special by The Simpsons was so fun and so spooky and scary as a kid. And then after a certain point, they just started like doing like what Scary Movie does, and just like doing like really dumb parodies of non-horror movies and stuff like that. I think I remember watching one, and it was maybe 2001, 2002 or something like that. And they just were doing a spoof of like Transformers or something like that. Yeah, it was, I forgot what exactly it was, but it was just like a parody of just a regular movie. And I'm like, this isn't even fucking funny anymore. So in honor of this, I brought up a BuzzFeed article that has all of them, and there is how many of these fucking things? These are all the segments, not episodes. So, by the way, they're at number 27 for the record. They have made 27 Treehouse of Horrors.
Oh, man.
So to put that in perspective, the first one came out in 1990.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're old.
So this has all 81 listed from worst to best. I'm going to skip most of them because, like I said, anything after... So I was looking at this before we started. Essentially, they started to jump the shark in 1998. So, like, pretty much anything after the 98 episode just progressively went downhill. So,
yeah, after the 8th season, so...
Yeah, so the first few ones, like I said, so were fucking key. So I'll just start with their number one here. And you were saying before we started this, you don't remember some of these or all of these, or like I think once we go through some of these ones, you'll go, oh yeah. So they have at number one, and I'm not sure if I'm in agreement or not, but it is definitely one of the best ones that they ever did was the Shinin.
It's definitely one of the most quotables. No
like that
beer,
one,
no fun, make Homer something.
Absolutely, yeah. So obviously, it's a play on The Shining, and yeah, just they did everything.
They got the Shinin. Shh, you won't get sued.
Yeah, he's like, you mean The Shining? And this is the same episode where every single segment, Willie gets killed for some reason.
Yep, I remember that.
It's like because it wasn't The Shining; it might have been like the one before or the one after it, where he like Homer's traveling between dimensions with his like magical toaster, and then he like so he's like, Homer, I'm here to bring you to your regular dimension. He goes and then he falls down dead, and Maggie was like hit him in the back with an axe, and he like, takes out the pacifier. This is truly a he's like, this is truly a disturbing reality.
Yeah, with James Earl Jones's voice.
Yeah,
this is indeed a disturbing reality.
So that was great. But the Shinin, so many quotables in it, especially the end. I remember quoting this so many times when this came out in elementary school. Like, urge to kill, rising, fading. Rising.
Yep.
Oh, that's and here. So okay, so number two. This was you. You said this one here was your favorite, and this one definitely is a great one. Citizen Kang. So it's the one.
Well,
that
after
came
going through this, I definitely have to change my favorite.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, this is the only one you remembered.
Yeah, it's the only one I remembered.
Yeah. So this one was gold because this was again for younger listeners. This was before Family Guy, before South Park. South Park makes an episode in 2 days, so that's how they can stay so fucking topical. Simpsons, it takes 6 months to do a goddamn episode, or at least it did back in the 90s. So this was in the middle of the 1996 presidential election, where it was Bill Clinton running for a second term versus Bob Dole, who nobody younger than us knows who the hell Bob Dole is anymore. But it was like, it was not what you experienced in the last presidential election, but like anyone, it was just like, ooh, who's gonna win and stuff. So they did fucking Kang and Kodos, and they one beautiful 10-minute segment they showed just how idiotic our way of government is.
My favorite quote from that, and it was like I almost played it on blast throughout this entire Trump thing, was like, we must move forward, not backwards. Upwards, not forwards, and always twirling towards freedom.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah. And then during one of the rallies, he was like, abortions for all. And they were like, boo. Boo. Very well, no abortions for anyone. Boo. Like, abortions for some, miniature American flags for others, and everybody cheers. Yeah. It's like, wow.
They're all in slavery, and it's like, oh, this is awful. Don't blame me. I voted for Kodos.
Right. I mean, it's so iconic that the name of our presidential election episode last year, which is probably the most depressing episode of this podcast ever because we weren't even funny. We were just it was just 40 minutes of oh my god.
Seriously. Well, that's the thing about The Simpsons. Like the first 8 seasons, essentially, were all very South Park-esque, where they were just a commentary on our daily lives, and they made fun of it in a way that was, clever. And I think it was around the time that like Conan O'Brien and like a bunch of other like actual good comedic writers were actually on the show for The Simpsons. Until they just started going downhill and every good writer kind of left the show.
Well, like I said, I think year 2000 was like pretty much when I stopped watching because it just stopped being funny. It was still somewhat topical, but it just, I don't know, they lost something along the way. And it's still weird to like see a Simpsons character bust out like a smartphone and stuff like that.
Well, I watched I watched a lot of analytical videos, like sometimes comedic, sometimes otherwise, but it goes over like the decline of The Simpsons and basically what The Simpsons became once they hit their 8th season. They were so successful, that was like their peak, that they basically sold out. So they started off as anti-culture and then gradually just became the culture.
The establishment.
Yeah. So rather than, fight the man, they're like promoting Pepsi kind of shit. So it's like
that's true. That's true. Yeah, I can totally agree with that because it was. You're right. That is actually pretty spot on. The more I think about it, it was like you watch The Simpsons. I know my parents didn't want me watching The Simpsons. The Simpsons and Married with Children are the two like banned things. Fortunately, I come from a broken home, so I was allowed to watch one at one house and one at the other house. So I got my
played the parents off against each other.
Absolutely. So I don't remember which parent it was. I think it was my mother who did not want me watching The Simpsons for whatever reason. But like, I guess I can look back and see like it was risque at the time. It said what you shouldn't say on TV at the time and made statements for its time. And now, it's just like, I don't know, like it's like, oh, look at the new shiny thing. That was us. It's The Simpsons. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess if anything, and I haven't even watched this in a long ass time, South Park probably is still the outsider, making.
I don't watch South Park. I haven't watched South Park since the 2nd season because it irks me to watch the animation. As an animator, it bugs the fuck out of me. But every single time I watched or am forced to watch the South Park in some way or fashion, I'm like, that's some funny shit. Like they still consistently are funny and anti-culture and shit.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't seen an episode in forever.
I guess they just came out with a game too, where it's Fractured Butthole.
Yeah, I think I've seen that ad.
And like it looks like the actual cartoon, but just in a game. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, since we're on this little side tangent here, I would say, I don't know why, but Family Guy sort of filled The Simpsons void for a few years, but I think has fallen into the same trap as The Simpsons, where it's now the establishment they're going on the 12th year now. Yeah, no, more than that, I think.
Oh, really? 13, 14, maybe?
99 was, I think, the year they came out. Then they were canceled for 2 years, and then they've been back ever since. So, it's been a fucking long time for them. So I don't know, and granted it's over now, but Futurama, I think, did it the best and consistently and never got to that point. Like Futurama, I think because it was based, on a purely, South Park, The Simpsons, and Family Guy are all based in like contemporary America, like our current times. Futurama being based 1,000 years in the future was able to do current social commentary, but under that sci-fi, under the guise of science fiction, which I think the best social commentary has always come from science fiction, because you go like, people get angry, you're like, you can't say that. It's like, I didn't say that. It's the future. Future, because Futurama, like, they did that. They handled presidential elections and everything that was going on in society while they were airing, just 1,000 years in the future, and I never got tired of it. I never ended up feeling like they sold out. I guess Futurama always still felt like the outsider. Probably because they probably had to struggle more than The Simpsons and Family Guy and all these other shows had to do.
I think that's probably why I like Rick and Morty so much, because Rick and Morty is very anti-culture, but also it's almost every episode is like a Treehouse of Horror. So it's and Futurama, so it's like all those things I love just crammed into one show, and I fucking love it.
Well, this is why science fiction is by far my favorite genre. It's like you can do so much with science fiction and it still pertain to now. That's why the original Star Trek series and pretty much every Star Trek series, with the exception of Star Trek Discovery, was pretty topical despite taking place in the future.
You need to get into Rick and Morty, man. There's a lot of hype around it right now.
I know, like I said, it's
so there's a lot of haters going like, it's not that good, but it's fucking good. And
I
fuck
feel
you.
like a caveman sometimes, because if it's not on Netflix or Amazon Prime, I'm like, it doesn't exist to me.
I think it's coming to Netflix, but I mean, there's other ways to watch it. There's this website called kimcartoon.me, and they have like every cartoon that you possibly can think of, but you can load it up on your Xbox or PlayStation through the web browser. I don't know about PlayStation so much, but I've been doing this with my Xbox, and I can watch fucking
like
Gargoyles.
A great way to invite a virus.
Well, I mean, you got to close the pop-ups as they come, but no, like I can watch they have all of Gargoyles on there. They have Mighty Max, which is another fucking dimension hop, fucking portal shit going on. Everything that we grew up with, SWAT Cats, fucking Street Sharks, like any animation from then till now.
What the hell's SWAT Cats?
SWAT Cats?
Samurai Pizza Cats?
No, that's a different thing. SWAT Cats was
Biker Mice from Mars?
No. SWAT Cats. God damn it.
I have to see what this SWAT Cats is. Oh, those guys. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't really like that show that much, but I remember them.
Mortal Kombat. They got everything. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Oh, Captain Simian and the Space Monkeys.
Oh, that was definitely a good show.
It's on there too. I don't know how legal it is, but it's fantastic if you want to watch animation.
Okay, so number 3.
Yeah.
The Devil and Homer Simpson. Now, this is the one where Homer sells his soul to the devil for a donut, and so if I don't finish this donut, you can't have my soul. And Ned Flanders is the devil for some reason. Like, Flanders, you're the devil. He's like, it's the last person you'd ever think.
Yep.
I don't know if it's like number 3, but is definitely good. Doesn't he, like, when Homer finally goes to hell, the devil tries to like torture him by making him eat donuts for all eternity, by like just having this machine shove donuts in his mouth. He's like, more. This is like
Continue. Number 4.
A Clown Without Pity. So this one I remember, but I don't have any strong memories of it. So it's like Bart's Krusty the Clown doll that is like, I don't know if it's possessed or it's evil and it goes around killing people. Like,
this is the one that they got from the shop. They got from that weird shop of mysterious things.
Yeah. I mean, most of the original segments for Treehouse of Horror was essentially Twilight Zone episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why they started to suck afterwards, when they ran out of the Twilight Zone to parody.
That's probably it.
Number 5, Dial Z for Zombie. Now, obviously, this one was a take on this is pre-Walking Dead, pre-zombie craze. So George Romero zombies, Night of the Living Dead, eating brains was. This is the zombies that this was based on. Yeah, like it was a great one. I love like the Chief Wiggum was like he's like sitting there, and all of a sudden like a dude walks up to him. He's like, and he shoots him. He's like, hey Chief, you killed the captain of the basketball team. He's like, nah, he was a zombie, or zombie. And like Homer kills like Fred Flanders is like, it's like, Dad, you killed Zombie Flanders. He was a zombie.
Yeah, I remember that part. I was just thinking, I'm thinking of him, I don't remember these, but I remember the quotes, the quotable parts. I'm like, God damn.
This is a good one because it was everybody in Springfield was turned into zombies, and they're literally like tearing each other apart and eating their brains. Again, going back to how like you were saying, this was like an outsider show for a cartoon at the time. These were really graphic. The regular Simpsons episodes were they didn't have graphic violence, but these Halloween ones, like, they had people eating brains, people getting like blown up and like blood and gore. And again, that was like, I think another thing that just added to the charm of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6 is Terror at 5.5 feet. Now, this one is definitely the clear inspiration from the Twilight Zone. Made famous by William Shatner, and there's something on the wing. Yeah, so
Yep.
Bart on the school bus, and the gremlin is same thing, just taking apart the school bus. And I don't know why this one freaked me out when I was a kid for some reason. It's in 93. I was 9 years old when this one came out, and just I don't know, that gremlin and like the school bus. I don't know why they were on like a school bus like at night in a thunderstorm, but it's just
Yeah, that was a good one. I remember him taking apart the lug nuts of the fucking tire.
yes. Bart Simpson's Dracula. This one, same episode. So this one was like another great one. Obviously a play on Dracula, but like, Lisa's the only one that's not a vampire. You find out when it comes to the end of the episode, and like, and for whatever reason, it ends with them like doing the Snoopy Christmas like song at the very end, but they're all vampires.
Mm-hmm. This next one is one of my favorites. This is the one that you were talking about.
Oh yeah,
with the Maggie part.
Yep, Time and
number
Punishment.
8. Time and Punishment. This is the one where like he goes back in time, steps on a thing, and then when he goes back to the future is like somehow different. And I loved seeing every iteration of The Simpsons like in these different future realities, and like he gets to one that's completely perfect.
Yeah, like they're rich, they live in like a mansion.
And then he goes, "Oh, can you pass me a donut?" "Donut? What's a donut?" And he runs away and goes back in time, and then all of a sudden, like, you hear a thunderstorm, and Marge looks out the window, like, "Oh no, it's raining again." There's just donuts coming from the sky. And then I just remember the very ending where, like, he gets there, everything is almost perfect, and he goes to eat dinner, and they start licking up the fucking dinner with their tongues.
Yeah,
and he's
like
like,
frog tongues.
he's like, close enough.
But that was after, because the great thing about that, he's like, I can't. I'm in back in time. I can't touch anything, or it'll change the future. And like, he steps on the bug. That's like the first change, and then he goes back in time again, and he's chased by like a T-Rex, and he sneezes on it, and then the T-Rex sneezes, and it dies, and then like everything fucking dies. And then after like 50 different changes, he goes back again with a baseball bat. He's like, "Not change the future." He just goes smashing every plant, every bug, every fucking animal he can find.
Oh, I loved it. So good.
Number 9, Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace. This
one was good.
Yeah, this was the take on Freddy Krueger. And dude, I remember quoting this one so much, and I found it hilarious, but I did not understand why at the time. So at the very beginning of the episode, the way groundskeeper Willie becomes Freddy Krueger essentially is they go into the school, and at the thermostat it says "Do not touch," and then it's signed Willie underneath, and Homer just goes, "Do not touch Willie." Good advice. He cranks up the heat. And I remember that, like, that whole October and November, like, just saying that, "Do not touch Willie." But I didn't get that it was a fucking penis joke. I just thought it was funny. But yeah, this is like a good one. This is another one that was like actually genuinely scary with the ways that Willie was killing them. Yeah, he like comes out of the sandbox at one point as like a big sand monster, like a bulldozer thing. Like it was definitely a cool one. It was in one of the scarier ones.
Yep, I remember. That was good.
Number 10, the Genesis tub. Do you remember this one where like Lisa loses a tooth, so she puts it in a thing with soda? Like you remember that was like a big thing when we were kids. Is like put the teeth that fall out in soda and see what happens to your tooth. To show us how bad soda is or whatever. But like this one, like I forgot, like a static electricity. She touches it with static electricity, and then like suddenly life forms on it, and like there's this whole civilization that's formed around her tooth and everything like that.
And she's a god to them.
Yeah. And it's funny because Futurama did the same exact thing, pretty much. The episode where Bender gets shot into space because he was taking a nap in the torpedo tube, and and his velocity is faster than the ship can travel, so they just can't catch up to him, and he's essentially lost to the vacuum of space forever, and he gets hit by this little like a little micro meteor storm, and one gets lodged on him, and there's like a little like blob of bacterial life that is like these tiny little people, and they build a whole civilization on Bender, and he is their god, and they make him like he makes them build like a big statue of him and makes them distill beer and everything for him, and they eventually get wiped out because there's another civilization on his ass that we never see, and there's like they all launch nukes at each other, and this mutually assured destruction. The Bender one goes into far greater detail than this one, but it was definitely, you could definitely tell that they're like, this is a great idea. This is definitely inspired and I think that was one of the better Futurama episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Number 11,
Absolutely.
Attack of the 50-Foot Eyesores. I definitely remember this one where like everything in Springfield becomes alive, like the giant donut guy and like all of their whatever you call it, like giant advertising comes to life and starts just smashing shit.
I vaguely remember this. I just remember the donut guy smashing shit with his giant donut. That's the only thing I remember from this entire episode.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't an overly memorable one.
The number 12, Lisa's dream with the fucking monkey paw. Like
yep.
every time she makes a wish, you see the fucking paw finger curls up. I don't remember. I barely remember anything on that episode though.
Now I'll give you that one. Like I remember the monkey's paw, and I remember like it twists your wishes and stuff. I don't remember too much of like what went on in it.
Mm-hmm.
Number 13, King Homer. Obviously, play on King Kong. So like that, I remember that one. Like, yeah,
I remember this one, but I remember going like, "This is dumb. This isn't fucking Treehouse of Horror. This is just a stupid like parody that isn't scary or anything like that."
You're right. This is probably the beginning of their parodies. I guess the only thing I guess that would make it more Treehouse of Horror-y was that it was all black and white. And I remember, like, he actually ate people in it as King Kong. Like, I think he eats like I don't remember if he eats Grandpa Simpson. He eats several people, which I remember at the time I was like, oh shit, like Homer's eating people. Let's see, number 14, The Nightmare Cafeteria. Oh,
I remember this.
Yeah, this is one where like wasn't the principal cooking kids, like students would go missing, and he was like chopping them up and putting them in the stew. This is one of the only ones I think that actually ends with Bart and Lisa getting killed.
Yep.
Like at the very end, they get pushed into like the vat and get chopped up and served for food. Like I remember that going like that was like fucked up.
Yeah, I remember one joke where it's like, "He's delicious," or something like that with Ralph Wiggum.
Omega Man. Is it right? Is this one based on the Twilight Zone?
Yeah. Well, no, Omega Man is based on.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm getting them confused.
That book, I Am Legend, essentially, but it was made into a movie with what's
Charlton
his face?
Heston. Yeah,
right. That was Omega Man.
Yep. All right. Yep. You're right. Yeah. So this is a nuclear post. But see, I don't remember. Maybe it's been a while since I've seen this episode. It's definitely been a while since I've seen this episode, but I don't remember this being too much like the Charlton Heston movie. Honestly, now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, what the hell happens in this? Like, the picture here shows Homer like watching a movie with like a bunch of skeletons because everybody's been dead from a nuclear war, but I'm pretty sure he encounters like other people in the wastelands and stuff like that, and that's not how the Omega Man was.
It was. They were like white fucking zombie people.
Yeah, but fuck. I need to YouTube this one. Number 16. Now this one here is iconic. Because it's from the very first one, but also it's our introduction to Kang and Kodos. Hungry Are the Damned. Yeah, so it was the one, like, they were inviting them to dinner, and the whole time, they're like, either Marge or Lisa, one of those two was like, they're trying to eat us! Because they found, like, a book, like, How to Cook Humans. He's like, no, there's dust on it. How to Cook for Humans. And
yeah, I remember.
But yeah, I mean, this one, even though it wasn't, like, one of the best ones, it definitely introduced some of the best characters into the Simpsons lore is Kang and Kodos, because they, as far as I know, have been in every single Treehouse of Horrors. I remember at one point they didn't even know how to incorporate them into stories. They were just there. I think the Attack of the 50-Foot people thing, when the donut guy's donut gets knocked out of his hand, it shows King Kodo's like in the desert with like a sign that says like to Earth's capital or something, and like it's like quiet, someone's coming, and like the big donut rolls by.
Yep. I don't know, all these other ones that I'm seeing, like, we could probably do these rapid fire, because
Yeah, well, I guess I'm not going through all of them. It's like, we're just, so we
the
got
notable
Starship
mentions,
Troopers.
though, you and I mentioned this one a lot, The Thing and I, which is the Bart that lives up in the basement, and
Yes.
goes in the rafters and shit.
That was a good one, because I remember that one also being creepy. You know, some of these were just like funny, and some of them were not, and some were creepy. And I definitely remember this one being one of the creepier ones.
Mm-hmm. This one is the one that I saw that made me change my mind on which is my favorite Treehouse, and it's Homer 3, and it's the episode where they actually go into the 3D world, and it was amazing. It was like you get to see The Simpsons for the first time, and in all of its glory in 3D, and like I know we were talking when that episode came out, it was like, oh, this would be a great movie if they actually ever made a fucking Simpsons movie. And it ended with him in the real world, just like walking around, and he goes into like a cake shop.
Yeah, an erotic cake shop. Goes, ooh, erotic cakes. Yeah, no, everything about this. I'm surprised this is number 20. Like, I would have put this higher up on the list, because this was, definitely one of the better ones. It was. I love how like he's like, what's it like in there, homie? Because this is definitely one of the ones that's based on a Twilight Zone episode. It's so fucking great. Yeah, like as a kid, seeing Homer in 3D was just the most amazing fucking thing in the world. It was like, holy shit. And I don't know, like, how they filmed the segment at the end where he was in the real world, but like, the people were reacting to him, like the actual people on the street. So I don't know if they just like had a guy with like a Homer cutout, or just like they told extras to just react as if you're seeing some very, very weird thing. But like I just thought that was a great little detail. And I love like they ask him like, oh, what's it like in there, homie? And he's like, anybody ever seen that movie Tron? And like everybody's like, no. And then Chief Wiggum's like, yes. I mean, no.
Oh, that's so good. I wish they had just a collection of the Treehouse of Horrors.
I think they do.
They have like, I think I have one that has like maybe 3 episodes of it on, but I want all of them. Goddammit, just all 28 of them.
All right, so the next good one on here that I think was Bart's Dream, and that's the one where Bart has like the power to just do whatever he wants with reality. Again, this was another Twilight Zone episode that they did, so he's like...
Yep, this was also featured in the Twilight Zone movie.
Yes, it's because everybody's super afraid of the kid, and you have to be super nice to him, because if you don't like it, he like gives you this stare, and like in this one, he turns Homer into Jack in the Box and everything like that.
Yep. The one after this, number 29,
Night of the Dolphin.
This is where I stopped watching Treehouse of Horrors after Night of the Dolphins. I was like, okay, click, bye, Simpsons.
Oh, shit. I remember that. It says, the Dolphin Army fighting back against humanity. I remember that now. Yeah, because I remember watching that and going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It was just so
and it
stupid.
even said year 2000. This is exactly where I stopped watching The Simpsons. And it was that exact episode. Night of the Dolphins. That's all I have to say about that.
See, I'm scrolling through here and I'm looking at some of them. It's like, The Day the Earth Looked Stupid. Like, that looks cool, but it was 2006. So it's like, and it says, turns into a very clear allegory for the Iraq War. It's like, all right, dude. It's like, yeah, Simpsons getting a little heavy-handed here. Now look at what... The one above it. Oh, the places you'll go. It's a fucking Cat in the Hat fucking parody. It's like that's like a fucking children's goddamn thing, not a fucking Halloween special.
You scroll up to number 39, Homer's Dream, segment where Burns gets grafted to fucking Homer Simpson.
Oh, I remember that one. Yep, that was... I can't say that was a good one, but it was at least memorable.
Yeah, it was 1991.
The Raven, the one above that, the Raven. Like, I remember that one. See, that again, so that's from the Treehouse of Horrors one as well. And I remember that one being creepy. This I don't know why.
Very memorable.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's narrated by James Earl Jones. That's probably why.
You want to see a good fucking Raven episode narrated by James Earl Jones? Absolutely. All these other ones, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, these A Clockwork Yellow, BI, Artificial Intelligence. See, like they're just doing movie parodies.
Yeah, after the Dolphins, fuck them. I can't. Nope. Yeah, they got really dumb after that.
Yeah, it made no fucking sense. It was like you're clearly running out of ideas.
This list is just basically a list of the Simpsons decline.
It really is. As you go further up, it's just like, oh, yeah.
But yeah, if you're ever lucky enough to go and find like a Simpsons Treehouse of Horror collection, or if you find it online, maybe it's on that KimCartoon.me episode. I don't know website. I don't know, but the first 8 to 10 years of Treehouse of Horrors were fantastic.
I would like to hear a younger person's perspective on it, because we grew up with the Treehouse of Horrors, so we have the nostalgia goggles when it comes to these, and even some of the the bad ones during the good era, we're like, oh yeah, I remember that one. Wasn't that good, but I remember it. Yeah, versus later on, we're like, these are just stupid. So I'm interested if you're in your mid-20s or younger, and you listen to this, I want to hear what you think about it. Like, are the current Treehouse of Horrors to you what they were to us in the early 90s? Like, are they just like this? Are they still like this amazing Halloween tradition? Like, it gives you the special feel in your pants, or do you not give a fuck about The Simpsons? And then also, looking back at the ones that we love, are they just as stupid to you as like the new ones are to us? Yeah,
that's a good question.
That's definitely an interesting thing. Like we've talked about on this show before, just the nostalgia goggles definitely put a fog up, I think, on our perception of certain things. I mean, now I could always just say, if you're younger than 30, you don't know shit. But I mean, I do want. I mean, yeah, you do have bad taste, but I am interested in hearing the answers to those questions. So anybody, please send either send us a private message on Facebook, or post just on the Facebook wall, or you could email us at modernretrocast@gmail.com. And I want to know. I'm interested in finding out. Aaron, find out.
I'll try.
All right, well, I guess that wraps up this spooky Halloween episode. I don't know what that was from.
That was fucking terrifying is what that was.
That's what we're here for, to terrify you.
Not in the good way.
The depths of your soul. Halloween's just not fucking scary anymore. Before we close out, I'm just gonna say, like, I don't know. It's not scary. I think we got the last hurrah of Halloween as kids growing up, because like people still wanted to scare you then. Now Halloween's just about
Christmas.
Yes, I mean that's true. I went to Michael's, the craft store, yesterday, and yeah, like half the store is already Christmas stuff, and everything Halloween is 50% off.
Yep.
And it's like, dude, it's like there's still 2 weeks to fucking Halloween.
Seriously, I was like, where'd the dinosaurs go? Now it's Christmas trees at Home Depot. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. But like nothing feels scary anymore. Like nobody does Halloween specials anymore. Like kids don't go and get spooked and scared on Halloween. I don't feel like anybody even goes to haunted houses anymore. It's like not that big of a thing. Like I kind of wish I went, but for my sister's bachelorette party a couple weeks ago, they went to Witches Woods up in Neshoba Valley, and I've always wanted to go there. It sounds fucking cool. Like, I don't like haunted houses because I only like haunted houses. Like, I like my scary movies. I like to be creeped out. I hate jump scares. So If someone says, "Oh yeah, it's a great haunted house," they pop out from all over the place. I'm not going in it because I hate jump scares, and I'll probably end up pushing or punching whoever fucking pops out at me. So you just keep me spooked, like something is going to pop out the whole time, but nothing does. Then good. That's a good haunted house. But like, I don't feel. I don't know. Like, you have a 12-year-old going on over there. Like, is Halloween spooky to her, or is it just like an excuse to dress like fucking Doctor Who? Like, this costumes aren't scary or gory anymore. Costumes are like silly or sexy.
Yeah. I don't know. Our main goal is to watch scary, terrifying movies for Halloween kind of thing. And she wants to go as Ash, all, chainsawed and fucking shotgunned up. So her kid perspective is definitely, I want to be scared kind of thing. So I don't know. Courtney was talking about making this house into a fucking haunted house or some kind of thing. I'm like, fuck you, I'm not doing that shit.
See, I've always wanted to do that. Like, I haven't done it at this house. But I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast before, but when I was a kid, I always trick-or-treated I lived on a main road, so it wasn't the best for trick-or-treating, but there's several roads around us, and the road that was behind my house was just the perfect road, because it's a big, long, family neighborhood, so, and it looped back around up to my street, but there was one, and it was fucking great for getting candy, but there was one house on that street, like, this was back in like the early to mid 90s when Halloween was still scary. So I mean, people had like some spooky stuff out, but the houses weren't really scary, except for this one house where like the light was on, but it was like dim and like flickering. The front door was open, so it's like, oh, okay, like we can fucking trick or treat there, because that's the Halloween rule, right? Like, if the light is on and the door is open, then they're gonna give you candy no matter the appearance of the house. So like, for whatever reason, it was just spooky. We did not want to go up to this house, so we like walk up to the step, and they had one of those like little like little ghost fucking electric thingies. Yeah, it's like one of those. But that was like the only decoration. There's no jack-o'-lantern outside. Nothing that said Halloween other than this like stupid little electronic ghost that went off when you went near it. We rang the doorbell and nobody came down the stairs. And then we rang the doorbell again, and then it was a screen door. So like the front door was open, but then the screen door was closed, and the dude must have been squatting behind the screen door, and he pops up with a fake knife and a bloody Jason mask and goes, "Nyah!" And dude, I might have shit myself. I don't recall, but I was with two other friends. We definitely jumped off those steps. Like, not turn around and jump off. We flew backwards off those fucking steps. And we did not go get our candy. The guy like opened the door and like reached his hand out like with candy bars. We would not go. We just went to the next fucking house. And we avoided that house every Halloween until we stopped trick-or-treating. And I'm like, and ever since then, I'm like, I want to be that guy. I want to scare the shit out of children on Halloween. But now, in this day and age that we live in, because I don't feel like Halloween is meant to be scary anymore, I feel if I did that, like, parents would punch me and shit. It's just like,
they'd call you racist and put you on the 12 o'clock.
Like, yeah, like the cops would show up because I was abusing children mentally or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yep.
It's like, no, Halloween's supposed to be scary. And maybe I'll get around to this one day, depending on the house and the neighborhood that we live in. It's still my goal to do this. Let me scare the shit out of you, and I will give you a full-size candy bar. I will not give you. If I make you pee yourself a little bit, you're not getting fun size. I'm going to have the full-size candy bars. So I feel that's a fair trade. But I hope I can do it one day, and not have the SWAT team show up and parents going, "You scared Billy."
Yeah, I don't know. My Halloween will consist of like ghost tours or something, but actually going to actual haunted places and not stupid fucking haunted houses.
Wait, you're gonna be on the plane on Halloween. You're not gonna be able to.
No,
go
I'm
to
not saying
those-
this Halloween.
Oh, okay.
Like most Halloweens coming
Oh,
up
okay.
anyway. If I'm not at a party that has costume stuff.
Dude, if I'm not at a party, I'm fucking sleeping. It's just like, I'm too old to be going around the fucking graveyards. Like, I miss those days for sure. Just like being out doing nothing. Like your ex-girlfriend Kelly, I remember we went beer retreating, and like I hit a 6-pack in my clothes, and we just went around the neighborhood, and then we came to this wicked nice huge house that had a fountain out front, and we made her little brother go back to her house and get a cup of detergent so he could go dump it into the fountain. But as we were going up to the yard to dump it in the fountain, like the owner of the house must have saw us lingering at the street for 30 minutes and like came out, and they were just standing on like out on their front patio thing, like with their arms on their side. Like I never saw their face. I didn't know. I can't even tell you the gender. All I saw is a silhouette of a person at the front door staring down at us. They were like, let's just keep moving. And I was like, toss the cup. So I just poured the detergent on the sidewalk and threw the cup across the street. We were like 23 at this time, by the way. Good times. So I hope everybody enjoys their Halloween. Scare the shit out of some kids. Get some good candy, and I hope your ass doesn't fall asleep forever on that terribly long plane ride.
Yeah, I'm passing out.
Well, this has been Modern Retro, everybody. Thank you for joining us. You can, for all of your Modern Retro news and happenings, you can go to our Facebook page. For everything else, you can go to our website, modernretrocast.com. Anything, hey, like I said, I want that question answered. So anything else, you can, you want to talk to us, you want to tell us if you're doing a good job, crappy job, whatever. Send us any of your hate mail, love mail, or questions and comments at to modernretrocast@gmail.com.
Also, go to tpublic.com/modernretro84 for cool t-shirts. They got stickers now, and I think they're trying to be like Society 6, so they got throw pillows and all sorts of shit.
They got like duffel bags and stuff now.
But they got we got our logo on there in regular format, Star Wars format, Guardians of the Galaxy format, plus a couple of t-shirts from conversations we've had on the podcast. Look for the Flat Death Star t-shirt possibly coming up very soon. And yeah, that's it for me.
All right, guys, take care. Happy Halloween.
You remember in the 60s when I invented the marsh? Well, now the time has come for me to update that smash. Since I've been out of the fright game for 52 odd years, I invited a new crew to spread spooky cheer. The first to arrive was Dr. Hannibal Lecter. He brought his own date, and he seemed to respect her. They hit the dance floor with a jive and a jitter. Then he ripped off her face! He's pulling out her liver!
That's really gross.
Oh my god, what just happened?
He ate her face.
Yes, I know! I saw!
Speaking of Saw,
I like to play disgusting games.
he broke his jaw.
That is way too graphic. I'm going to faint. Surely all the other guests won't be this rude. Like this classic monster, a scary hip dude. He's got a kooky style and a spooktastic look. Oh my god, he just hung the waiter on a meat hook. Why?
Leatherface,
He's cutting him up with a chainsaw.
it's what he does.
Who is Freddy Krueger?
He haunts your dreams.
Ooh, he sounds like a real spooker.
I murder teens. You can't escape me, bitch.
Language. In my day, the monsters would just give you a spook. Nowadays, it seems they all just want to make you puke. Ah, the human centipede. That sounds like a hit. Wait, the ones in back have to eat the front one's shit? Enough! The party's over. Everybody out. You all have no